Good afternoon and welcome to video number 8 in the New in Box engine video series. Now it's been a while since I posted video number 7, probably close to 2 months or more. I've had some things going on in my life. Anyway, so today's engine features one that goes back many years. I think this engine dates back, at least its original design dates back to at least 1962, if not even slightly earlier. What I have here today is an Enya engine. More particularly, it's the Enya 29B Mark IV throttle valve or TV engine, which means it's the RC version and not the control line version. Now this is an engine I picked up off of eBay for what I consider a really outstanding price, considering it's new in box. And I've seen others like this sell for more than what I paid. And I'm just going to say right up front, I paid $70 for this engine. So let's open it up and see what's inside this box. So it comes with the factory instructions. Well, these are not the instructions, these are the safety rules. Here are the instructions, and possibly these instructions might help, just like OS instructions do, might actually help understand the year or the vintage of this engine. Now this is the model 5224, which is the latest iteration of it. Here's something interesting. Distributed in the United States through Model Rectifier Corporation, MRC, it's Edison, New Jersey. I remember back in the 80s, late 80s, when I got into the hobby, MRC was still around and still distributing Enya engines at that time. So, now this exhaust did not come with the engine. This is an exhaust that came in a box of engines that a friend of mine, Mike, had sent to me, I don't know, a month or two ago or so. And in that box of engines was also a used Enya 29. I took a lot of those engines to the Winnebago RC Flyers meeting and attempted to give them away, and I believe the Enya 29 was one of the better ones, and I believe that it was given away and somebody took that. And with that, I think there were 2 of these exhausts, and I think I gave the other one went with that engine. But at least I have an exhaust to run on this engine. So this is an engine I think it's really kind of an interesting thing, because back in those days engine manufacturers would really kind of have really elaborate packaging, and like some of the OS engines from the 80s, early 90s maybe, would have these nice foam cutouts and everything. And then when things started getting cheaper and cheaper, they just started throwing a piece of bubble wrap in there and throwing the instructions on top. This is still an example of an engine that I kind of call it the designer case. Let me try and pull this out of here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can pull this portion out of the box, and the engine is held in place, with a piece of yarn. So I mean, this is a pretty elaborate stuff for an engine manufacturer. Now along with this engine comes another head. Now I'm not entirely sure why it comes with another head. I don't know if it's different than this one. I have not taken this one off to see. But then of course it comes with the needle valve for the carb. But this is, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Enya engines, this is a lapped iron piston engine. Not an ABC, not ringed. It's a lapped iron piston engine. And those of you that do know that means right now that it's pretty tight. I can't even turn it over. It's probably sat for many years. Oh, I can force it down just slightly. It means that these take an extensive break-in period. I don't know a whole lot about Enya engines. I've read some things about them. I've had many. But as far as the history, I don't know. I was just reading something about these lapped iron engines and engines of this design and vintage. These were really designed back before synthetic oils were available or very good. So they recommend running full caster on these engines, and that's a lot of the reasons why when you buy used engines, they're all castered up and gummed up, which is not a big deal. It's a good thing actually, because if the previous owner used all caster and it's all gummed up, that caster, dried caster, acts as a rust preventative or a barrier to rust, which is a good thing. And all you really have to do is just heat it up, reliquefy it, and the thing will turn over. That's one of the reasons why Enya engines last seemingly forever. But anyway, I can turn this thing through. Well, I can't get it all the way through top dead center. It is freeing up a little bit, but they recommend like up to 20 to 25% castor oil in the fuel. Throttle is completely free. It's an air bleed type carb. I mean, this is just a really nice vintage engine. Now, the question will be, are you going to run it? Well, I don't really know that I am, really, because it's in such pristine shape, and also knowing that these require quite an extensive break-in period. I'm not really sure how I would benefit from running this on the stand 1 or 2 times to make videos. So chances are this is an engine that is not going to be run by me. If for some strange reason I'm mistaken and I still have the other Enya 29 in that box, I don't know that I do, I'm pretty sure it's gone. I will probably run that one instead, because that one was in good running condition and it'd be a good runner. For an example. This one, I don't know that I will run this engine at all, but I did want to share it with you and show you that there are some really high quality new in box engines still available out there if you're willing to, pay a little bit of money for them. I didn't pay a ton of money for this one, fortunately, but they are still available, and in my opinion, with the state of glow engines, manufacturers, spare parts, buying a new in-box engine is really the only way to go, especially if you're going to try to get into glow for the first time. Just because spare parts are just really hard to come by now. That is not to say that you can't, because there are some people that still have Enya engines and parts. Not a ton, but some. Maybe they're a little bit easier to come by than stuff for like Webra or Super Tiger, I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and seeing this latest new in box engine of mine.